So you are thinking, is it possible to get Dolby Atmos under $150 or closer to $150? Maybe, because Creative sent me the Creative Stage 360 with Dolby Atmos. What is really my thoughts about this one? When I own the Sony Ht-A9 and the subwoofer SW5, the top of the range from Sony, and we are talking about the system that costs $2,500. Is it still good, a $150 experience from Creative, the Creative Stage 360? If you want to know everything about it, stay tuned until the end of the video. Hi everyone, Marcus here from Ht-Pack, and if you love tech and if you love discounts, this is the place for you, because everything that you see here have links on the description below. Today we are going to open the Creative Stage 360 and I'm going to tell you what is my thoughts out of the box and what you can expect from this one. And sorry, it's not easy to be filming a box of this size and still appear. So by opening the box, we have here some foam. Okay, we have here, I believe, I'm laughing because you guys know the sound system that I have, yeah? And if you want to see the Sony Ht-A9, definitely check it out. That is the subwoofer we'll see in a second. Let's see what we have inside these two little boxes. So we can open this one first. So inside this bag, you have your manual, and it's not really relevant. You have also two cables, one European and one for the UK. That's not really normal, and for this price, definitely a plus. Inside this small bag, some rubbers. We'll see for what is that. And also we have here the remote, and it's a bit plasticky, but I like the feeling and the touch you can hear, so not too bad. And now it's quite light because obviously there is no batteries inside. More foam, and now let's see a little bit closer the subwoofer and the bar. That's really not normal to find inside the box, but that's definitely a big advantage. You have an optical cable, a few more manuals here. I'll leave this to the end. Super funny that this is the subwoofer. I have a Sony SW5, the top of the range from Sony, and it's heavy. And when I grabbed this one, I just found it super light. The subwoofer, it seems that it connects directly to the bar. It's very slim. The material, it's good. You are going to find obviously the hole. You have the small logo saying Creative. You can see it's very thin, even it's just what, 5 fingers. If you live in a small apartment, definitely cool. This cable, I'm a bit disappointed because it's super thin. I would like that it's a little bit thicker. If you are like me and you have little rabbits that they can eat this cable, easy to get damaged. This is the bar that you have. It's basically less than 3 hands. On the top you have on and off, minus and plus, and the source. When we look to the back, you have the subwoofer output, you have a USB-C, you have your optical in, so definitely a plus. You have two HDMI 2.1, and you have also one that is ARC. Unfortunately, it's not eARC here, a system that is 5.1.2. This is the rubber fits. If you need that, they sit a little bit higher. Very easy to install. You put it in here, and that's it. When we talk about specifications, basically every tweet here have 60 watts, and that subwoofer have 120 watts, so 240 watts. For such a compact solution is definitely not bad, and for the price, 159, I think is a bit unbeatable, to be honest, if the quality is good. I'm not really convinced with those type of cables. They can deliver the best quality of sound, so we'll have to see. And obviously it's not comparable because just my subwoofer cost basically 4 Creative Stage 360. Really soon I'll be also doing a video where I'm going to put a $150 against a $2,500 system. So I'm going to connect this to my living room and I'm going to test it for a couple of weeks and see what is my thoughts about it. These have like a sticker on top of it. It's this sticker. It comes off, but it feels like almost like a glue and is really hard to take it off. I'll be removing it and I'll come back later for you guys. So I thought that I was going to test it for longer. How can I put this? better than just coming back straight away here to talk to you guys. This basically, you just have two speakers on the front. There is really nothing in here, but it basically emulates you Atmos. It's not really like proper Atmos, but if the room is not too big, and definitely this is not for a big room, it's incredible what it can deliver. So for example, on my living room, on this side, the wall is really close to myself, but if you change from the right position to a little bit more to the sides, you can already starting to lose a bit of that surrounding effect, if it makes sense. It's not for a big room, and you need to set it up this and sit it in a proper way when you are looking for television to be able to really take the best profit of this. When we talk about the sound quality, it's really impressive for the price. Like I said, I'll do a proper comparison between this one and my $2,500 system, the Sony Ht-A9 and the subwoofer SW5. And yes, it's not closer to that. I didn't feel that I was using a sound bar that cost $150 basically. So that was super impressive. I can say that is really loud. And one of the things that I noticed is, obviously I'm used to a sound system that have basically like a compressor, if it makes sense, and here you don't have that. So in certain moments I felt that the sound was a bit too low, and in other moments was a little bit too loud. One of the TV shows that I tested for Atmos is Formula 1. And if you try Formula 1, the last season is incredible. The quality of Atmos that you have in there is insanely good, and you can hear all the details of the voice. And when I was using this, I could even hear the voice, like it was almost like if the mouth was next to my ear and moving the lips. So I was really impressed with that. So definitely a pro. And another thing that I like it about this one, that I have to say, it goes above my experience with the Samsung Q990B. And we are talking about something that costs more than $1,000, okay? The separation of the sound between the subwoofer and the clear sound was incredible for $150. I couldn't believe it. On your remote you have an option of near or far, and I have to say that I prefer with the far option. So basically it's far from you, so it creates like it seems the room is slightly bigger, and when you are hearing music is better in my opinion with the near version. So it feels like the sound is a bit closer and you can feel more the kick going to your chest, if it makes sense. You can hear some distortion of sound, so when we talk about the higher notes, it's not obviously the best sound system, but the mids and the bass is not bad whatsoever. When I put side by side this subwoofer with my subwoofer SW5, it seems like a joke. When we talk about size, is not even comparable. And obviously this bar next to my 65-inch television is really small, but it delivers, and that's incredible. You also have 4 modes with this one. So you have movies, music, wide, and night. So the night is to basically turn off your subwoofer. The wide is horrible. I really didn't like it whatsoever, so that mode, so just ignore. The movie and the music, they are very similar. The difference is when you are hearing music with films, you don't really notice the difference, to be honest. It's very close to each other's, but it's slightly more defined with movie. But when you go to music, I prefer to with the option music, because it's like the music have a little bit more body, if it makes sense. That's something that I really like it. It works really fast, the connection with the remote of the television. So when I press going up in volume on my television, it works really flawlessly with the bar. It's really good, that part also. Something that I really like. I really like the fact that you have these rubber feet, because for the position of this bar on my television, it's perfect. You don't need to use the optical cable. Just with the HDMI is more than enough. It doesn't really warm, if it makes sense. It just gets a little bit warm here on the middle, but nothing that it will burn you or something like that. So I'm impressed. I was not expecting anything of this product, because like I said, I'm used to a $2,500 sound system. Is it the same? No, it's not close, But if you think about it, it's like almost like if you buy a camera. So if you buy a camera of 100 or if you go to a camera of 500, you definitely see a massive gap. But after from the 500 to the 3000, the gap is not so noticeable, and so on and so on. So it's more for people like me that are very picky with sound, and you can really notice all these small details, and you really want those small details if it makes sense. And as a professional musician, like I was for many years, and I share stage with big names like John Legend and the UB40, for me it's relevant. This soundbar, for the price, I don't think that you can buy something better. Like I said, this is not really pure Atmos because you should have speakers pointing from the top, and I don't see here anything. So you can see just some grill here on the middle, but on the top is just plastic in there. So it's just these tweeters that you have here, they are doing everything. The mapping of creative, it's insanely good if you are searching for something that is super compact. And also another thing that I really like about this compared to my sound system, if you think, is, for example, my speakers, they need energy. So I need 2 cables to connect my 2 speakers on the front, 2 cables to connect my speakers on the back, and obviously another cable for my subwoofer. I don't have a central speaker because the Ht-A9 emulates the central speaker. I use my Sony A95 case. I use it doing my central speaker because the speakers of the television, they are insanely good. And here obviously I don't have that immersive sensation that I have from the back, but the Atmos, like I said, if the room is quite small and if you have walls not far from your ears, so for example, if it was here and I have the TV here and I was just looking where you are seeing, I think it will work really well. So you need 2 walls not really far from that TV. If that's the case, this can deliver an amazing sound. For the price, I think it's worth it, every single penny that you spend on the Creative 360 stage with Atmos Sensation. I say sensation because even if it's an Atmos system, I don't think that works like an Atmos system. If you don't have the walls really close to you, I will say that that Atmos sensation comes up to more or less the position of your ears, and you lose that exposure that comes more from the back. But if you have the wall much closer, sometimes you have the sensation that the sound came from the back of your head, if it makes sense, even with just this tiny speaker. Is it possible to have Atmos experience in your house with $150? Yes, it is. Here is the one. The bass was quite tight for the price. Normally, and even once again comparing to the Samsung Q990B, the sound was basically all mixed up and the bass was destroying the other sounds, if it makes sense. And with this one, it was not happening. Yeah, this is my review of the Creative Stage 360. I'm blown away. This one, it's a must-have if you are searching for something really cheap with Atmos. I never liked the so small screen on my Ht-A9. In here, it's massive. You can see really well what you are doing or the volumes, what is happening, so definitely a plus. My name is Marco, this is MadPack. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, smash the thumbs up, do whatever you want, but always with a smile on your face, and I hope to see you in the next one.